What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream today. It is Nick's birthday, and I think she'll be on shortly with us. But if not, we're going to have a fun stream anyway. She's going to be doing a birthday bash starting in about an hour or so, as well as her 1,000 sub party. So congratulations, Nick. I know that's something you've been working on for quite a while, so I'm glad that you hit it. I think it goes for anybody in the community. Getting to that 1,000 subscriber mark is like the biggest hurdle to get to first. And then after that, it's trying to get to your 2,000. And then from there, get to your 5,000, your 10,000, and so forth. So anyway, congratulations for that. So if you guys will be going over to her channel at the end of this, and if at the end of the hour, over to her channel where we're going to have a fun party. And I believe she's got some surprises as well as maybe some gauze for us as well too. So anyway, we're going to have fun today too. Hopefully she'll join us here in a little bit. She might be busy with either family or with the time going off. She may have forgotten that we were going earlier. So we got nickel stacking in the house. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And we are live. We are live now. So I've got my new Stacking Surfer t-shirt. You guys can see that. So anyway, having fun with the t-shirts, wearing those around town, and can't wait to wear a few of these at the Long Beach Coin Show coming up. Michael Stacking, welcome. We are almost live. Well, now we are. So I know you were waiting. We got OC Stacker in the house. Joseph Lopez, welcome. And we've got Ellie. Welcome, Ellie. Thank you for coming. Ellie's always been very helpful with the channel, so I appreciate that, and supporting Magnum Pap as well. Welcome. Nick is running a little bit late, but she will be here soon, guys. So she will be joining us. Let me just turn off my notifications so we don't have any bleeps or noises coming up. All right. Okay, so that's good. And we've got Mark in the house as well. Welcome, Mark. Coming out from Colorado. So, Mark, do you guys have snow out there in Colorado? I've got a lot of relatives in Utah, and I heard they got a lot of snow over the last week or two. So that's pretty cool. I think snow's awesome when you get to ski it. I think it's not great when you have to drive in it. That's my philosophy. If you can snowmobile in it, that's pretty fun too. We've got Brown Sugar in the house as well. Welcome, Brown Sugar. Good to have you here. And to start off, let's talk a little bit about where the price of gold and silver is. So I'm just going to pull my phone down here so you guys can see it. So right there's Kitco. So right now, gold's sitting at $2,030.20. And silver is sitting at $22.69. So, we've had kind of some fluctuations moving up and down recently. Let's see if the charts are live. Yes. So we're going to do a 30-day chart on gold. So you guys can see it there. We had a pretty good peak a little while back, which was actually the all-time high. And then we've seen it definitely been getting beat up since then and coming back down. Another peak, we had a trough, and then we're starting to pull up a little bit. So the question is it going to go back up, or are we going to see another dip down? So we'll be talking about that today. And then let's look at silver real quick here too.
Hi.
Right. We're just going over prices real quick. So here's the price of silver. You guys can see that's been just beaten up. It's just sliding down. So gold kind of has been holding steady, slowly going down, but trying to hold its ground pretty good, trying to stay above that 2,000 mark. Silver, on the other hand, has been getting beat up a little bit. So Nick, happy birthday.
Thank you. Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. We got started.
I saw that you did. I'm still trying to put some finishing touches together.
I figured you were getting ready for the surprises and everything. So
yes, because we just got through cake. So
oh, there you go.
Yeah, because we got hi Hampton Consultants. Thank you guys. Yes. So I'm just getting together. I don't even have all the lights on or anything. So
it's all right. We're getting going. We're getting ready for the big party. So this is kind of our pre-party bash today.
Yep.
So question for you before we get back to some of the other stuff you've got set up there. I would definitely want to see what you have, unless you're waiting to talk about that.
Oh no, the cat's out of the bag.
Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. But have you been buying gold and silver? Or are you waiting for it to go down lower, or are you selling?
None of the above. I am buying. I have to say I am buying, but very little and at auction and just very good price. And it doesn't necessarily need to, it's not coins either. Some coins, but just how about yourself?
A little bit, buying a little bit. I actually have a couple packages over here I haven't opened yet.
Yeah.
But I've been buying a little bit, watching my prices right now. I
Hmm.
do think things are going to start correcting a little bit based on some of the charts. And there's definitely some downward pressure, but it's been a little bit of stuff. So I picked up a couple ancient coins. I think they're Russian ancient coins. And then I picked up some silver that I ordered from the Durbans.
Okay. Yes. Well, I do have a set that I purchased from the Durbans,
There you go.
and this will be opened tonight as the giveaway.
That's awesome.
So somebody will get a nice, beautiful Benji. Yeah, I've been buying some small stuff. Don't get me wrong, but and some gold and well, Tiffany's jewelry. Tiffany's jewelry. I'm sorry, guys, but that's yeah. I mean, silver, silver, and you know it's got the Tiffany's name, but I'm getting it a lot cheaper
Are
than
you
some.
going to wear it though? Is it an investment or are you going to wear it?
No, I'm selling that because I don't. I wear gold. I'm not a silver person, but I do love the Tiffany's name. But
There you go.
this doesn't look good on me. But it sells very quickly, and it sells for much more than I paid for it. So then I'll buy some more gold.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So do
There's
you see
nothing.
what's behind me? Though I
Yeah,
have to show you.
let's see it. Show us.
I got
Let's.
Gillette Gypsy Wolves. I got Gillette Stadium.
Okay, so you got to point to us the different things that are up there.
Okay, so
That was
we
awesome.
have Gillette Stadium, and it says kickoff on the coin toss coin, and it's in New England won the coin toss, and we are going to defer. We got a surfboard up there from Stacking Surfer, and we got Texas Joe. We got something from Gen X, which is a Michigan quarter.
Okay.
Gunny sent the silver certificate. I've got a main die right there that Gunny sent that actually minted some main quarters before they took it out of commission. And then I got
A license plate. Yeah, that one's awesome.
and then I got a Durban puck. I got a Hampton Consultant leather right there. And then we have something from the Nevada, from the State Mint Museum, Carson
Okay.
City, that I got from, and then I have a can round. All of this is Boston. Red Sox, Patriots.
Are they stickers? What are those?
Those are patches and stickers that Steve Liberty sent me. So those
Awesome.
and some Rocky Superstar sent me some quarters. So this is just, I didn't have much time today. So the family has kept me quite busy.
Well, okay, first off, great job. I think it looks awesome.
Yeah.
And I got to work on some of my decorations behind. This is just window coverings behind me here. I got to work on my room and stuff. So I think it's a great idea to have something fun.
Right now it's Celtics right now because and I didn't mean to like blend in with everything. It just so happens that this is a really warm sweater, but I didn't get my Bruin stuff or my Celtics stuff up yet. And then of course I have Red Sox, so it's going to be every combination of everything. And I'm gonna So we got a lot of stuff coming up next. So I just haven't been able to have time to complete everything.
Well, in the white from the Patriots logo, the silver kind of takes care of that, right? Some of the coins and the puck up there.
Yes, and of course I'll get the camera angles and stuff. I realized what time it was, and we're still having cake. My daughter made a homemade cake for me, and so we went to dinner, and then of course that went a little long, and then I have the family up, my mom, my dad, everybody, cousins, aunts, uncles, and they don't know I'm on YouTube, so don't tell anybody. They don't know, except my mom and my dad, and my sister. So I told them I had to sneak downstairs and do something, but they don't know I'm on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Most of my relatives have no
Mhm.
clue I've got a channel.
Yeah.
Even my friends, most of them don't know I have a channel either.
Just a couple of my friends do. Of course, I couldn't keep that from them, but because we're on sometimes on Saturday nights, and they're like, "Well, why can't you go to dinner with us and go to a movie?" Well, I got to do the show. So
That's funny. Well, I love it. Well, let's see. Who else do we have on here we haven't welcomed yet? I don't think we welcomed West Texas Stacker yet. Cheap Laugh Kennedy, welcome. The Cranky Stacker. And let's see who else we've got. I think those are the new ones that just jumped on. Amy's on here as well. So if you guys haven't, if you haven't hit the thumbs up yet, go ahead and hit that thumbs up. We want to get this as big as we can tonight so we can bring people over to Nick's channel for her 1,000 sub party a little bit later as well. So Nick, that process of creating that display that's behind you, how did you go about doing that? Is that something that you custom ordered or something you found?
Well, you gave me the idea of like a shadow box type thing. So I thought, well, in my head, I was like, I know I can find a 3D stadium somewhere. I have to. And then I was like, oh, the coin going right in the 3D stadium. So this was the best I could find without getting like Legos, because they have a Lego set that's a Gillette Stadium that's 3D. So without doing the Legos. So I found this, and so I put the coin right in the middle, but I took it out of the capsule that the Patriots had sent to me that has the T on it. So I'll put that on here somewhere. But I still don't even have.
Is the coin, is it behind glass, or
no? I put it in another capsule. No, I put it in another capsule.
Okay.
Yeah, I put in another capsule, and those strips that you don't have, that you can just pull down. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
It's holding
like
everything
or whatever.
Yeah. So that die up there is pretty heavy. So, but I kind of told my husband what I wanted. I wanted something to where, because a lot of people send us nice stuff, and I wanted to display it. And I never really had anything around me. So I was like, well, let's make some shelves. So I still don't have everything up there. Again, it was chocolate covered strawberries this morning with my coffee. Yum, my favorite. And so the family's kept me pretty busy today.
I think that's fun. So what are the odds of you coming out to the Long Beach show?
50-50.
All right. How do we get it to 51? 49.
Well, I sent you a message, and I'll be able to know Monday. Hi, Freaking Awesome. Happy birthday to Freaking Awesome. It's his birthday as well. So let's all wish happy birthday to Freaking Awesome.
If you come down, Nick, there's a restaurant down here that has what's called a hula pie. And it comes in either peanut butter or mocha.
Oh, peanut butter. So when I was little, that was my favorite cake. My mom made homemade peanut butter frosting, and we had chocolate cake. And now I had coconut tonight. My daughter made a homemade coconut cake for me.
All right, I'm going to see if I can here.
Chocolate covered strawberries. Dip them in my coffee. Yum.
Yo, totally. Okay, so here's a hula pie.
I'm going to show you. My lighting's real bad. I need to fix my lighting.
This is a hula pie. It's a slice of it.
If you're going to do that, I'm going to bring my whole cake down. I mean, because I was so stuffed, I was almost like, I don't know, even if I could, I was so stuffed to the point of where I felt kind of sick, Well,
that's what happens. So these things, they're this tall, Nick.
Jeez.
Ice cream with coffee. It's coffee ice cream with chocolate kind of in between.
Coffee ice cream is my favorite.
And then it's like a thick hot fudge over it with whipped cream.
Yeah.
And anyway, it's really good.
My favorite is coffee ice cream. I love it. I love it. I love it.
I think they're awesome. So these started over in Hawaii. We have a restaurant here that'll do it called Fisherman's. And it's right on the pier, so you get to watch all the surfers and everything.
It must be all the tourists that go eat all those cakes and stuff, because I don't understand how all these women stay so thin in California. It has to be people coming from out of state, because I don't think the women in California do eat.
No, they pretty much do celery juice and like.
I was just gonna say, it's like the green juice. It's like, keep it in California, but
seriously. But you got this restaurant here that's down by me by the beach, and then you've got Duke's up at Huntington Beach that has a hula pie too. And theirs is more of the original one that I think it has macadamia nuts chopped up inside the ice cream. And I think theirs is macadamia nut ice cream.
Is
But
it?
anyway, they're awesome.
But I don't think I want to do seafood. I think I get great seafood where I am on this side.
It depends on what kind of seafood you're trying to get. So if you want like mahi-mahi or swordfish, you'll get the best swordfish and mahi-mahi in Southern California better than the East Coast. I'm just telling you, I've had it in both places.
Well, then I'd have to try it. Well, swordfish isn't.
The lobster sucks out here because it's all flown from your area. And unless you get a place that flies it in that morning, it's not the greatest.
Sufer, if you were nice, you would have gotten some lobsters to take back with you to California for your family. But you do know that when you see people fly with lobsters, they're alive. You know that, right?
No.
Oh, yes. Heist. I mean, help me out here. But really, you'll see people on flights and they have these like little lobster boxes. Those lobsters are alive. You don't cook them. If you cook the whole lobster and not just the lobster tail, you're cooking the whole lobster alive. Yeah.
Okay, so without water, how long are they going to live? Are they going to live past a 6-hour flight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Eat way more coffee ice cream than the rest of the. And in winter, I know that is it's people think we're crazy, but ice cream isn't just for summer, people. It's in coffee ice cream. Oh, scrumptious. It's my favorite, even since I was a kid.
Yeah, I had some homemade tiramisu it's over to my house today, which is great.
What is that?
Some homemade tiramisu just landed on my front porch.
Tiramisu. What is tiramisu?
Uh-oh.
It didn't land on your tiramisu. I get you have somebody behind you, don't you? Show yourself. Oh, wizard, come out behind the curtain.
What do you mean a wizard?
Yeah, well, he's not a wizard because if so, he would have wizarded his Alabama team to win. We know how that ended. I mean, the first time, and then his coach retires. They fly live Maine lobsters around the country in boxes for restaurants. I didn't know that, but I do know that. Yeah, and I think airlines used to charge, I think, $50 to fly your lobsters.
Oh, they probably got to make some money off of it, right? But I went to Morton Steakhouse about 3 months ago, and that was out by Disneyland. And Morton's supposed to be a really good steak restaurant. It is. The lobster came back. There was no flavor to it. It tastes like paper.
Okay, so we have a beekeeper. Okay, so I know that there is Maine wild blueberries. So my husband does my husband was out at a blueberry farm doing some work, and they literally fly in bees to pollinate around overnight. Don't ask me how. They collect them in the morning, fly them back home, and then they pollinated all the blueberries. How cool is that? Bees are smart. Cool. They're smart.
We had
bees.
We had a beehive form in our mulcher in the backyard, and we ended up having about 5,000 bees in there. And so we had to have a beekeeper come out and collect the bees, and there was a bunch of honeycomb in there. It was nasty. We didn't eat it, but it was cool to look at how they formed it. Bees are awesome. You want bees around your property. You don't want those to go away, especially if you're growing anything.
Well, we do have wild blueberries on my property, and raspberries and strawberries, except we don't eat them because you would not be able to go out in my yard or go swimming if we did not have our yard sprayed, because our mosquitoes are like, they say, small birds up here. And the horseflies, oh my gosh, they're huge. So we need to have it sprayed, but it's all organic, but still I don't trust it, and I'm not going to eat, we can go for a walk and go get some.
We don't get a lot of bugs out here.
Nope. Oh, that's why you guys have that indoor outdoor living stuff, don't you?
Oh yeah. So there's people leave their doors open, and it's a little bit more like Hawaii. You just you can have your lanai or your doors open and just go in between. Not a big deal.
That is true. Having consultants.
You got to watch out for the coyotes. They'll come snatch your smaller dogs, and take them
Oh,
off.
well, and there are no poisonous snakes in my state, so
We do
don't
have
ask me
rattlesnakes
how
and
they say, okay, here's the border. We're not going to cross the New Hampshire border into Maine. I don't know how that works, but we don't have any poisonous snakes up this way. We really don't. And so I don't mind leaving my door open, and I mean, all the windows, everything's open all summer long up here. And that's nice to be able to clear out the house, but we don't mind leaving our doors open. But make sure you close them at night, because they'll come in. If they smell something good, they will come in.
Yeah, you don't want bears in your house. That'll be a mess.
Yeah. Yep. And like in the path behind me, I know my 38 is not gonna it will stun a bear and let me get away. But yeah, there's not many people that say they have to go on their hikes and take their guns with them.
Yeah. You just take a Snickers bar and then you can throw it.
Because they're hangry.
They're angry.
I don't know. I'm not that big, so I mean they could probably they could do some damage. But a black bear isn't as like a grizzly. They're not as
Well,
aggressive.
you just got to be faster than the friends you took on the walk.
That's what my husband always says. Just be faster than the person you brought with you. Make sure you can outrun them, and then you're good to go. I said, well, okay, well, you want to go with me? Because there's
That's why Nick always takes a slow person with her when she goes walking.
I want to take a dude with me.
A dude? Let the dude fight off the bear?
Yeah, a dude that thinks he's a deputy or an OC, because OC wouldn't survive in the woods out here. I would leave him out. It would be like, drop him in the wilderness and we'll see if he can survive. In the dead of winter, on the ice.
Going to invite these folks to come up and say hi, and then all of a sudden her car is just going to go flying off and really fast.
Oh, geez. No, we got some tall mountains and curvy things too. I'll just drive slow. I don't want to be like
So look at this comment here. Judge DeGood says, in California, we have blue-eyed blonde surfer girls, nothing better. Okay. Well,
if you say so. I mean, I'm a blonde. I just don't happen to have blue eyes.
So
from what I understand that, northern girls are smarter.
Uh-oh. It all depends. It's always the blonde argument, isn't it?
Well, I'm not, never mind. It's all an illusion, people. It's an illusion. It is.
Well, all I know is I was a lot more blonde when I was younger. My hair keeps getting darker and I get smarter by the day.
I should have my sister come on, because then you could see what I looked like without blonde hair.
All right. Well, one of these days.
One of these days.
You can convince her to come on. I don't know. Is this real? This might be false news here.
You'll be surprised what I've got coming, Gypsy Wolves. You'll be surprised. And a special viewer is sending it to me, and it trumps yours all day long. You just wait.
All right. So here's another question from Hampton. We do have, we've got diamondback rattlers out here.
Yes, my husband has killed several down in where Hampton Consultants is from, Waycross, Georgia. The largest rattlesnake that he killed has 12 rattles. And I have that too in rattles. Yep. 12 rattles. So it had to have been a good, 12 years old. It was a big snake.
So in high school in Utah, we killed a rattlesnake, and we had it hanging over a banister to kind of dry out. A hawk came and took it. We never got the rattler off in time.
But I am sure. I mean, seriously, these Hampton Consultants, how big diamondbacks? Okay, so how many? They get big, and you know what's funny? He's a hunter, and he's never seen them in the woods. Never walked up on them in the wild. He's walked up on them in the hunting club, like spread out on the dirt road or the pavement, is where he's killed them.
A lot of them out here will be, they'll be out in like holes and caves around rocks and stuff. They're not usually just.
Have you seen any? Like I watch those Beverly Hills shows, Housewives. Have you ever walked? They have beautiful paths to go walking on. Have you ever come up on one that way?
No. So where I live, we can go up on a path. People will take their electric bikes or the regular bikes because it's where we're at. It's really hilly, If you go down towards LA, it's pretty flat, so you can take like longboard, skateboards. A lot of people will use those. But when you get into the woods it's not really woods, when you get into the brush, into the hills, you can see snakes crossing path. Your biggest risk is the mountain lions or cougars. They will kill you if you come upon them, and they don't care. They're also going to take the slowest person. And then if another person starts running, they'll go get the fastest person. So those you do not run away from. You just start praying and you start throwing rocks at their face. Those are hard to survive. Great whites, we surf with great whites every day. So every day you're surfing, there's great whites in the water with you. But where we're at down in Southern California, they tend to be juveniles. They're only 14 feet long. Those are the babies. I guess they're not babies, they're like the teenagers. And they're looking down to find rays. They're not looking for seals. You go up to Northern California, they're bigger and they're looking for seals. They will come and bite your leg. They will come and bite your side thinking that you're a seal, find out you're too crunchy, and they spit you out. But we do have great whites. That's probably our biggest risk out here is the great whites. No bears down here. Maybe bears up in the mountains, but not where we're at.
You have venomous stuff there in Florida, Shadrach,
and everything Georgia. In Florida.
And John Jacobs, I won't disappoint. Believe me, once we move the party over, I promise I will not disappoint. Not only do we have plastic, the hard plastic to crack, but we also have the to get into.
Plastic.
Yeah.
So how do you crack those open? Do you have to get scissors for those?
No kidding. Oh, yes. And I don't know if you remember Department of Numismatics. John Belay, he sent me the heavy duty.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, those are pretty heavy
duty. Oh, yeah. Because, I was, just to cut with. And he sent me these a long time ago.
That's
so
funny.
And he even sent me a certificate.
I haven't heard from him in like 8 months. Is he still doing stuff?
Yeah, he's good. He's been busy, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
YouTube keeps unsubscribing me from different people, and then it doesn't show a lot of notifications. Pretty much every time I have a video go live, Nick, people will say, "Hey, I had no idea this was out there." Or
really,
live streams. I get a lot of people tell me, "Hey, I didn't know that there were no notifications went out."
Sorry, my husband keeps texting me saying, "Come finish up so everybody can go home."
Yeah, let's drop Nick's. I'm going to drop your link in here for everybody. Just a second, so we can get you in here.
Yeah, I have to learn how to do that from my phone.
Because they're wondering where I am, and again, I'm not going to tell it because then they'll all join the chat always. And if you have a New England, they won't ever stop and they won't leave me alone.
There we go. All right, guys. So here's the link for Nick. So this is going to be the link to her actual video or the live stream that's going to be going on. We're going to start that 29 minutes.
I did have the stream set up, Surfer, and late last night I was tired and I wanted to send the link to somebody, and so I wanted to email it. I made a mistake and I deleted it.
Uh-oh.
So I had to resend everybody links again. So if somebody asked me if messages were being deleted, and they weren't, I just deleted it on the StreamYard side. And then, so if you do that, I have to delete it on the YouTube side and start over. So it happens, right?
So Nick, I've got a coin I wanted to show you guys for this year that I think is kind of cool. This is one I picked up a little bit ago. Do you have any of these? Do you collect any of these Year of the Dragon coins?
No.
So that one's kind of fun for this year. I don't stack these, but I'll grab one.
It's not that I don't like it. It's not that I don't like it. Is that just a regular 1 ounce?
Yep.
Oh, it looks bigger than that.
But that was a fun one that came in recently. So anytime you grab stuff like that, I try to get good prices for it. I think I paid about
all that pretty stuff. And I was into that kind of stuff, all the pretty stuff. But, I'd rather upgrade some coins in my collections on numismatic side. And then if I'm going to buy silver and stuff, I just want it to be as cheap and close a spot as I can get it. Of course, you can't get it at spot sometimes, but I want to get it as cheap as I can because I'm just going to concentrate on building my collections and upgrading coins. That's where I'd rather spend the money. And I think I'm going to get eventually more money out of it as well. If I ever did decide to sell, which is probably never going to happen, but
Yeah, if you do sell, if you just decide to sell, you're going to be able to do that. For me, I just grab these every once in a while when I find a great deal on them. So I could flip that, probably make 15 bucks on it. But anyway, that's kind of the stuff I've had coming in. And then the best kind of coins to get are ones like this, where you win them at other people's auctions.
oh yeah, absolutely. So what is that?
So these are 1/5 ounce that I won on Yankees channel.
Oh, is that when you won on the wheel twice?
This is what I won on the wheel. So it came with 10 of them.
Yeah.
So there's 10 of them that are in there.
Uh-huh.
So that's the best kind of silver.
I told Tiger last night that I have dropped out of Rigged Nation, that I'm back on Yankee side because Yankee asked Tim a question for me, and then Tim went on this rant. And his rant was awesome because he was like, silver what? And we started talking about New England Patriots. So yeah, I liked that. And then so I sent a message on there. I put a message in there and I said, Tim is wicked smart. Then he read it and he knew exactly what that meant. So
there's no way it's rigged. I've won twice. It's not rigged. If it was rigged, I wouldn't have won.
I didn't get to stick around long enough. Just get on the wheel.
Well, I think it closed down. He had to open another stream.
Okay, so if I do go to this, I want to go to the coin show all 3 days, and then I want to do the Disney thing, but then I want to do, Alcatraz. That's another thing I want to do. I want to go to San Francisco and go get some rice because I hear they got the best rice. It's a San Francisco treat, from what I understand.
Oh yeah. So, or you could just go to Disneyland and go to the San Francisco area and
that's right, because I could go to Chinatown, like I do. Yeah, I could go to Chinatown and all that other stuff too, right? Okay, so I'll do that, but I can't go to Alcatraz.
If you come down, we'll have you busy. There's a lot of great stuff to do down here. San Francisco is going to be another air flight if you want to go up there, but the city is pretty destroyed right now. It is devastated.
They poopy on the streets in San Francisco, from what I understand.
They have shut down almost all the stores. Like you go down to Union Square, and it used to have a beautiful Apple store. There used to be some beautiful parks and a lot of shops, like Rodeo Drive type shops.
That's what I heard, Michael Stacking. Be sure to get the poop map. That's what I've heard. They poopy on the street in San Francisco.
Everywhere. It's destroyed. And here's the other thing. If you have a car, everybody leaves the windows down no matter what the temperature is, because they're going to break your windows to take anything they see in the car. So you leave your glove box opened. You have nothing in the car. You leave everything open so that they just don't go breaking your windows. San Francisco.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that then. I just want to go to Alcatraz, and that is it.
Alcatraz is cool, though. I have been there, and it's a pretty cool place to go visit.
I want to go see where Al Capone, his cell, and then I want to see Whitey Bulger's cell as well.
All right. Well, there you go. Bring your camera. They definitely have a great tour. I've done that, so that's pretty fun. And then down by us, they have, I think they still have the Queen Mary that you can go tour. So that's down in Long Beach, not too far from the coin show. They used to have the Spruce Goose, but I don't know where that ended up. I think that's gone now.
China.
That went to China?
Japan about that.
Someone bought it. Took it away.
What would they buy?
It's like all of our farmland. We used to have Americans own farmland. Now we don't. Everybody foreign gets to own the farmland.
Well, I know. What did you say? What did you give away now or sell?
The Spruce Goose. It was Howard Hughes's massive flying. It flew for like 15 minutes and landed back in the water. The thing did not really fly. It was
you really do have snakes for real? That's why your name is Serpent Silver. Ew. When we go to your house for dinner. No, because I mean, I'm not scared of spiders, anything. But I mean, if I have like a little grass snake in my yard this big, I say it's an anaconda. I hate those things. I hate them. Hate them. And I always run over them with the lawnmower. I'm just like, why don't they ever freaking move? because I'll be screaming in my yard. My husband will come out there like I just killed myself or ran over a foot or something, because if it's still moving after the fact, after me running over it, it really bothers. It scares the crap out of me. I hate it.
Yeah, snakes. I've held a few snakes before, Nick, but they're
I
the
don't want
creepiest snakes.
I don't want to hold them. Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of snakes.
Serpent silver. Yes, they make great bags and great boots.
Oh no.
And jewelry, I guess, but I'd just rather have a handbag. Be
Well,
honest with you, I don't have
what
alligator.
about alligators? Have you ever held an alligator before?
I have. I have a picture. I thought I had it on Instagram, but I have a picture of my kid and my husband and I holding an alligator.
Whew, those things are scary too.
Well, I mean, it's had tape over its mouth.
Well, I hope so, because it'll bite your hand right off.
Well, it didn't bother me holding that thingy. Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me, how many snakes do you have? One of his snakes died last year. Yes.
The
Here,
question is, do you raise snakes? Are you like breeding snakes?
please don't breed them, because we don't need any more help. I mean, they're becoming the super snakes. They're going to outlast us all. On a
Okay,
golf
so
course, I have two.
it looks like the spruce goose is in Oregon, so I guess it's not Evergreen Aviation Museum. All right.
Okay, that's really my husband now. I've got to go say goodbye to the family because we're going to be on
All right,
in
Nick. We'll let
20
you
minutes.
run.
So I will see you guys in a few minutes. Sorry I was late, Surfer.
No problem. We're gonna keep partying until we move everybody over to your channel.
Sounds good, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes.
All right, we'll see you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
There's my daughter. We just came from New Orleans.
Ooh, look at these pictures, guys. Look at this. There's an alligator. Watch out for those things.
New Orleans.
I don't know. I've been to Destin, Florida, and I went to a restaurant out there. And to get into the restaurant, you had to go over a little bridge, and there were alligators all over the place. Like, it was probably 2 stories down. There were alligators, and they were everywhere. And there was maybe 100, 200 of them. And the railings weren't very tall. They were maybe like 4.5 feet tall. I could just imagine a kid climbing on that stupid thing, falling in that pit, and it's over. So I don't know. Alligators freak me out. I do like going to Florida. Florida's fun. I do think all the wildlife is trying to kill you in Florida. Here in California, yes, there are cougars or mountain lions, whatever you want to call them. We do have bobcats out here. And we also have rattlesnakes as well as great whites, and a few other snake species that can be venomous, but they really don't seek you out. They don't try to kill you. They try to avoid you as much as you can. Yeah, that's pretty bad. The alligators freak me out. But anyway, so I've seen alligators. I have not held one before. I have held a few snakes though. I don't know. Yeah, that's not my son, Ellie. He's I don't have a picture of him right now. We were using OC's phone for a second. He was coming by to visit. He brought me some tiramisu. So he's welcome to come in if he brings tiramisu. Anyway, especially when it's homemade. Okay, so let's see what Serpent has to say here real quick. I plan on bringing my snakes out every once in a while. Once I get a new tripod set up, don't want my phone getting locked or knocked over while recording. Oh, that sounds kind of crazy. So I've got a brother-in-law and my sister. They have what I would call an animal refuge at their house. And he is one of 2 people in Utah that are able to wildly trap or reclaim peregrine falcons. So he raises peregrine falcons. He raises bowling pigeons, if you've ever heard of those. And then he was raising emus, but his dogs bit the head off the emus, so that didn't last too long. And then they have goats, and they have chickens. They've got a lot of hunting dogs. So I've got nieces that go and hunt and nephews that go and hunt, and my sister's shot a bear before. It's a different lifestyle and a different thing that I'm used to. The only thing I've ever hunted has been a pheasant. And then I've done a lot of fishing. So I've done a lot of river fishing, lake fishing, or more deep sea fishing. So I've caught things like mahi-mahi or dorados. I've caught a lot of barracuda. I've caught a couple leopard sharks. Leopard sharks actually taste pretty good. But I try not to catch too many sharks. The ecosystem needs the sharks. And then my dad, I'm going to show you guys something really cool. Let me see if I can get the picture to pull up here while we're kind of on the subject here. He caught a massive leopard shark when he was 16. Sorry, thresher shark. For those of you that know what that is. All right, let me see if I can pull it up. Here we go. All right, so this is my dad when he was 16. And that is the shark that he caught with his mom, his dad, and his brother and sister. That thing is huge. And they were not in a very big boat. If you see the boat down below there, I think it maybe had seats for 5 people. So this thresher shark was maybe the same length of that boat. Maybe not quite as long, but that is a shark. If I see something like that in the water, I'm trying not to be anywhere near it. But you got to watch out for those guys. So anyway, what I would tell you guys as far as animals go, be careful with the dangerous ones. Okay. So it can be fun to go out and do that stuff. Just make sure you guys are safe. So tonight we didn't really get into it a whole lot around gold and silver, why the price dropped, but let's talk a little bit about some of those things. So what I did want to do is pull up some of the news here just to share with you guys, if I can find it. All right, so here's a news article I wanted to share with you guys. It is Wall Street and Main Street get cold feet on gold prices. So before we jump into that a little bit, what I want to ask you guys is, like we were talking about earlier, I used to get more of these kind of coins when I first started stacking, because my perception is they'll go up in value over time. They'll have more, value to it. And this isn't stuff I'm going to hold on to forever. These are coins that I'm usually going to flip. So that's a little unique for me. I can flip that stuff. Here is a cool coin. This is a 1 ounce silver coin that is 100-year anniversary of Disney, Steamboat Willie. And you can see the back of it here. This just sold on eBay last night for $165. So I'm going to be shipping this out to someone on Monday. But you can see it's PF70 proof. And I've got a couple of these left still. But these are fun things. I can pick them up. I can sell them, make $15 on them. It doesn't make a huge amount of money, but it does keep my my store going. It kind of helps fund the channel a little bit. $15 is $15. I don't have to sit there and wait and try to sell it. It's just something that'll happen passively. But I will do that from time to time. And then the one thing that has been very disappointing has been these. These have not done very well. So I don't think I'm going to be buying anything else from the U.S. Mint, especially when you can buy it for less money on eBay than the U.S. Mint. So I'm not doing that anymore. When I'm stacking, though, I am looking more for things like Eagles, Maple Leafs, and Browns. And so that's a lot of what I'm looking at from a silver perspective. And then for gold, I either stack pre-33 gold. Pretty much anything I can get my hands on. I really do like that gold, especially if I can get it for about the same price as buying like an Eagle or a Buffalo. And then I stack Buffaloes and Eagles primarily, but every once in a while I'll find something cool. Like I do have a gold dragon coin that's kind of like this. It's a little bit older, so it's not from this year. Joseph asks here, guys, and then we'll get into the article here. He says, do you recommend stacking 40% Kennedy silver half dollars in 2024? I personally don't stack them. However, if you can do the math on them, my understanding is if you take that 40% of that silver content and you do the math on how much you're paying for those, you may be getting it for very inexpensive prices. So they still count. People will still buy those. They'll still trade them. LCSs will buy them from you too. So my advice on those, Joseph, is if you can get a 40% Kennedy and do the math on 40% of an ounce of silver, I guess it'd be 20% of the cost of an ounce of silver. If you can buy them for, what is that? What are we at right now? $22.50 or something. I'm not going to do the math in my head. I gave up on math. I just do calculators now. So if you can pick up like a 40% Kennedy for $4.50 to say $5.50, you're probably doing okay on those. Okay. I don't do that right now. That's not part of my strategy. I am looking for more half dollars. I am looking for more constitutional silver. I want another $200 face value of constitutional silver, which is one of my goals for the year. I still haven't put out my goal video. I'll try to get that out this week. But that's one of my goals, is to do that for silver. So I'm not really buying a bunch of this anymore, but these are great to take to like the Long Beach coin show and sell, and you can make a little bit of money off of them. And these look a lot like the Marvel coins. There's some of the nicest coins coming out of Australia. It's the same thing with the kookaburras. And I think they're some of the nicest looking coins with the way that they do their frosting. So if you can pick these up for about the same price of an eagle, I think they're worth picking up. They usually do have a better price on them over time too. Yeah, so I don't think they're going to pay spot for a 40% either. So personally, I don't do it, but that's kind of the rule of thumb I've heard. If you can get them for around 450, you could probably pick those up. Now, if you have a way of smelting them and melting them down, maybe you can get the content from that and do a little bit better with it. But I personally, I only have, I think, 3 of them, and I got to find where those went. There's somewhere around here, and I'll be giving those away at some point on the channel as some giveaways too. So Daydreamer says, I just got one from a new LCS that opened up just so I have a coin to flip and don't care about damaging. So there you go. Craig says 40% silver is a good way to start out stacking. I would buy as long as the premium is fair, but would prefer to get near spot prices. I agree. So definitely don't be paying a premium for the 40%ers. Refiners will not buy them, according to Steve Woods. So I don't know. I don't take stuff to a refiner. But if you have your own smelting process and you want to do that, you could try to do that. You're going to have to put quite a few in there, and you're going to have to work on burning off the rest of that and separating the metal out. So that's a little bit of a process and not something that I really mess around with. OC Stacker says 40% and 35% nickel dealers will purchase at half value, according to Silver Dragons on today's video drop. So go check that out. I don't really know too much about that. That's not really the game I play too much with. Let me see if I had any other comments on this up here. So I will agree with this. I'm a huge Star Wars, Indiana Jones fan, and Disney's most recent moves have definitely hindered those. And the next movie they come out with, I think, is going to probably be a big problem. So it's sad to me because I'm a big Star Wars fan actually, and really the first 3 movies are the ones I like, as well as the Rogue One that had Darth Vader in at the end. Rogue One was kind of fun to watch. Even the Han Solo one was a little bit okay, but everything else I haven't been a big fan of. Not a big fan of the prequels. Some cool scenes, but didn't love those movies either. So, okay, so let's go back to some of the news on what's coming up here, because we just have a few minutes left, guys. So, I looked at Johnny Bravo has a channel that he talks about doing swing trading. And today he talked about gold is going to have another move down. It looked like he was projecting it would be going down to about $1,800 towards that direction. So maybe not quite that low. It may go down, another $50. Maybe it's going to go down $100. So he sees gold as having a little bit of a correction here and then jumping back up as it hits resistance. His channel, I can kind of recommend it from a standpoint of some quick news, but he does have inappropriate things on there, so not for your kids. Some adult humor is definitely on there, and pretty much every thumbnail he has is like doom and gloom. It's today's the last day of your life kind of thing. But he does have some good indices that come up every once in a while. But Keiko News says gold kicked off the week at a high levels as it traded near 2,050 per ounce. Buoyed by the Middle East conflicts, safe haven demand, and stubborn market sentiment that rate cuts are coming sooner rather than later. But as the shortened holiday weekend rolled onward, a steady diet of hawkish central bank comments and the absence of an energy boost from geopolitical politics, weakened investors' appetite for yellow metal. So here's the deal. I think we're heading into two scenarios. I think we're either going to head into a deflationary period over the next couple of years or an inflationary period. If we head into a deflationary period, it's going to look more like the Great Depression. Your prices of your metals will go down, but the price of a lot of other things will go down faster, which means we'll be losing a lot of value of things. And then eventually get to the point where there's massive job layoffs. The other option is going into hyperinflation, where your job continues to pay you more over time, hopefully, but it probably won't keep up with the rate of inflation. And so you need things that are going to kind of have real value that are going to go up. But as you're looking at those kind of situations, a lot of it's going to hinge on what the Federal Reserve does next with rates. So a lot of people have been calling for the Fed to reverse rates. Well, I can tell you right now that if the Fed reverses rates, we will have hyperinflation coming. I will define hyperinflation as inflation that continues to get out of control and go up. I think we could eventually get to double-digit inflation if they start printing money again and lowering rates. Other people will define hyperinflation as inflation that prices are moving up every day like they did in Venezuela. I think we're far from that situation. So I don't see that happening. But if we do have the inflation and the Fed starts printing money again, get ready for prices to start moving up in precious metals. I definitely see that happening. Same with crypto. I think you'll see Bitcoin, Ethereum, probably XRP, and a handful of other tokens jump really high. So keep watching that. That's going to be a big indication. The war that's going on, if it gets worse, that's going to be bullish for gold and silver. Well, let's just talk gold. It's going to be more bullish for gold. I think silver is getting totally manipulated right now. And then if you're looking at the Fed, if you hear that the Fed is lowering rates, it's going to move the price up. If you hear the Fed being hawkish, we're not going to lower rates. Or if they, heaven forbid, start to increase rates again, then you're going to see that start to pull back on the price too. So real quick from you guys, what are you doing right now? Let's put a 1 in the chat if you're buying gold and silver. Put a 2 in the chat if you're selling, and put a 3 in if you're not buying or selling, but you're holding steady right now. I'm just curious to see what you guys are doing. So Celtic knot, it depends on how you totally define it. So, the difference between inflation and hyperinflation is nuanced. So, if you really want to go with the strict definition of hyperinflation, that's in countries like Venezuela, where they paid you every day, or maybe even paid you twice a day, because by the time you left your house and went to work and then lunch came around, they'd already repriced the price of eggs and milk and other things like that. And it was higher later in the day. So in true hyperinflationary periods of time or places, people spend the money the second they get it, because 12 hours later, 24 hours later, it's worth less money. So we're not going to be going into that. So when I say hyperinflation, it's not quite the textbook definition. I'm just talking about inflation going back up to 6%, 10%, maybe even 12%. Could be all the way up to 20%. If they start turning on the printing press again and doing that, you will see inflation definitely come back. All right, you guys made up numbers now too, so I got to see what your notes are. Thank you, OC. So we got a 1, a 1, a 1. We got a 1, we've got a 3. Okay, we've got a 4. I don't know what a 4 is, Joseph Lopez. That must be maybe holding and ducking and covering. I don't know. We got a bunch of 3s, so I think a lot of people are kind of holding.
To see Jeff.
5 equals buying more crypto. There you go. So I will tell you guys as we go through this here, there's really 2 ways to when you're accumulating, okay, any kind of an asset. One is you can do things that's called dollar cost averaging, right? That will work for silver. It'll work for gold. It'll work for cryptos. So, and that can work when they're going up, and it can work when they're going down, and it can work from a buying and a selling perspective. So if you believe the price is going to continue to go down on something, so let's say you think gold is going to go down by $300, you could be slowly selling it out because you don't know if it's going to turn back around. Same with crypto. The same thing goes along when it's going up. You could be buying a little bit each time as it goes up. It's really, really hard to predict and to gain or to game the very bottom and the very top of markets. That's really hard to do. I tried day trading for a while, and it was just way too much work. And with me being on video calls all day for my day job, I would miss things by 2 or 3 hours and get totally wrecked. So I gave up on that whole process. It's not something that I could do. So, you know, that's not something I mess around with. But dollar cost averaging is one way. The other way is waiting until you know, you have a swing of 5% or 10% up or down, and either buying or selling. So you're also not hitting the tops, but you're being programmatic about it. So I do have some crypto. I'm waiting for Bitcoin to get closer to $20,000 before I start to really pick up a bunch of that stuff again. And like I've said in my recent video, to me, that is that's money I'm just playing around with. It might be money I would take to Las Vegas and screw around with. It's not where I'm putting my wealth. I put my wealth into investments that cash flow, or I put it into, if I'm putting it into savings, I put it into gold as wealth insurance. And then I try to pay off all my debt so that I can be completely debt free. So if you guys are going to get into crypto stuff, just be very careful, know what you're doing, do some research on it. Understand that it is very, very volatile. So you could make a ton of money off of it, but you could also lose a ton of money off of it too. Bitcoin got up to almost 70,000. People bought it then. Okay, we haven't even gotten close to that mark again, and those people are still waiting to break even, or they've already lost money. And then you've got people that bought it when it was worth hardly anything, and they've made a ton of money, so it doesn't really matter to them a whole lot. So just be careful with that. So Daydreamer is slowly getting silver, but also focusing on gold this year, so that's great. I do think I would acknowledge that, and I think that's what's going to happen if the Fed starts lowering rates and printing money. You're going to see trillions come in, and I think they're going to be bailing the banks out to some degree, the big ones, and I think they're going to let a lot of the regionals get sucked up. So that's something you guys need to be aware of. That could happen too. Okay, so OPR and R8R is waiting for gold to go down a little bit more. I think it is going to drop just a little bit more. I don't think we're going to see a massive go down, at least not in the near term here. So Cement Surfer, my bud day traded for a year and paid off his house. So I think it's great. Look, I had a friend from one of my companies I worked at. He had $300,000 in his retirement account, and he was able to take that up to 1.2 million in 2021 during the big, stock market boom, let's call it. And he didn't sell any of it, really. He just kept playing around with the market, thought he knew what he was doing, and it went all the way back down to like 280,000 in 2022. I don't know how much he's recovered in 2023, but he hasn't recovered all of it. So you can make a ton of money off day trading, but you also have to have a philosophy of how you take money. So I've got a video coming out this week with Andy Scheckman with his interview, and he talks about a great analogy of when he went to a casino with a friend, where at the end of the time they were playing the tables, Andy had no money left, and his friend pulled out a whole bunch of chips and had a whole bunch of money left. And every time he won a hand, he took some of the money off the table and put it in his pocket. So watch out for that video. There's going to be some good things that are there. We cover a ton of stuff. I think it's going to be the best Andy video that's out there. All right, so I think we hit everything, guys. We're going to jump over to Nick's now. So let me put that back in here for you guys. So here's the link. Go ahead and go over to there. I think Nick's going to have some giveaways, and we're going to have a great conversation there. So go hang out with her. I think she's going to be bringing a few people up as well. So thank you for coming out to Coin Talk tonight. And until next time, peace out.